Hello guys, welcome back to Phasmophobia. We have a new developer preview update. This is going to be number 11, pretty much on the weekly basis now. And this one is quite interesting, I think. This is going to be the ultraviolet development preview, meaning that no more fingerprints evidence in this game in Phasmophobia. Now it's going to be ultraviolet evidence. Let's see what they had to say. Welcome back. We got news for you. Let's see them, shall we? Let's see them. Ultraviolet. Fingerprints have been one of the more reliable evidence types in Phasmophobia. I have to say that as a new player, I haven't checked fingerprints very much because with the EMF and video evidence and all these things, dots and all that things, fingerprints I haven't touched them that much, but it is what it is. If it's one of the more reliables, it is one of the more reliable evidence. But we felt it could have a few things adjusted to make it feel more immersive. That's the point. I don't think the fingerprints as it stands now are very immersive. It gets lost, I think, in the translation of what Phasmophobia gathering evidence is about. But more fun in certain situations. We are looking at your high school gym, probably, and more definitely interactive. And that's what I'm talking about, to be more interactive in terms of that specific evidence fingerprints, which, by the way, again, it's not fingerprints anymore. It's going to be ultraviolet. So there you go. Firstly, we have renamed fingerprints to ultraviolet. So there you go. Keep that in mind. The main reason was to address getting fingerprints in some of those more open areas that are really frustrating for players. And that's a big truth. That has happened to me, especially at the high school, which is a huge map. It just, open areas can be very difficult to actually gather that type of evidence. But, it is what it is. It's part of the mechanics of the game. And I'm hoping now with ultraviolet, they have changed a bit of the mechanics to make it a bit easier. If your ghost refused to move somewhere with doors or other interactables, you might never get that evidence. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. In a huge map, if the ghost doesn't have that interactivity, it's very difficult to get fingerprints evidence. Now, to remedy this, if a ghost steps into a salt pile, it will now only show footprints if it has ultraviolet evidence. And that's a very cool thing, I think. Non-ultraviolet ghosts will still step in the pile and give you the initial photo, and rest will still never step in that pile. That is a very good point and a very good mechanic, I think. So there you go. If you have footprints, now you will be able to see them through ultraviolet, especially on the salt pile. So that is a good point, I think. I'm going to like this one. And by the way, keep in mind, I'm looking this from a new player point of view. So you guys have, thousands of hours on there. Maybe you see this differently. But from the beginner's point of view, for someone new coming into the game, these changes, I think they are going to help new players get into the game much more quicker, I think. Next, we found that taking photos of fingerprints and footprints never made much sense. No, indeed. You would see the print with your UV light, put it away, then proceed to take the photo of nothing. So yeah, that's exactly the point. I mean, how many people I see taking photos of doors and things just to gather the fingerprints evidence, and I'll do it and I have nothing there. So a bit confusing in that. With progression 2.0, we have added UV charging, and this is a very cool mechanic, I think. When shining a UV light onto fingerprints or footprints, you will still see it straight away, but additionally, the light will charge up the print, meaning that as long as you have your ultraviolet device on, whatever is a stick or a flashlight or whatever, that print will charge. As soon as you switch off that device, the print will fade slowly. So you have a bit of time to take the photo. After putting your UV light away, the print will stay visible for a short period, depending on how long you charge it for, allowing you to take a photo. That is a brilliant mechanic. I love that. That's very cool. Very cool. So, as you saw on my past, if you've seen it, obviously, but if you saw my past update videos for Phasmophobia, we know that we have 3 different tiers for each individual item. So tier 1 is the glow stick. And you know what? I am really, really pleased with that because I have never used the glow stick. I don't think it's a use for it as it stands now, unless, of course, I'm missing something. The glow stick, after snapping it to turn it on, it projects a short range area light that lasts around 1 minute before dimming. But that's enough time for you to identify the print, put it down, and then take the photo. And I'm guessing that if you snap the stick, put it on the floor close to the print, will still charge that print whilst it's in the floor. So you may have more time to actually take the photo. That's a good point. The tier 2, which is different in here, is a UV flashlight with a brighter, longer range, narrow spotlights, boasting a much faster UV charge time. That means that using tier 2, you put it right on the print and will charge it very, very quickly. That's a good point as well. So this is going to change the way fingerprints or ultraviolet now is going to be in Phasmophobia. And I think it's pretty, pretty cool, especially, as I said, for new players, in my personal opinion, and from my point of view, which is a new player to Phasmophobia, only about 50 hours. There you go. Tier 3 is the UV Light Pro, a chunky flashlight that has a much brighter and wider cone of light, as well as an even quicker charge time. Perfect for locating ultraviolet evidence quickly on a larger scale. Not to show, guys, not to show, you know. I'm pretty sure that once the game is released in July or August, I think around that area or time frame, I'm not sure. I like the idea of the glow stick a lot. I really do. But I'm guessing that as you go through the TS, probably you will find your own mechanic in terms of what would you usually use to get that specific evidence. And all 3 look great, but I like the idea of the stick, of the glow stick. I think it's pretty cool. So there you go. Salt Pals will also be getting some neat new features, which you'll have to wait and see yourself soon. What could they be? Oh, well, there you go. Salt Piles will also be getting some neat new features. I wonder what that will be. Maybe different type of prints? Maybe, not too sure. What could it be? Not too sure. But anyway, this also fixes the major issue of trying to sell off your blank photos to ghost hunting distribution and expecting reasonable payment. But there you go. That's what it is. I think that overall, what these guys are doing with Phasmophobia is an amazing overhaul of changes. And I think it's going to really, really be beneficial for everyone playing Phasmophobia. But people that like games like this, that never have played Phasmophobia, I think it's going to be a great, great thing to step into the game and be a bit, follow and structure a bit more seriously in terms of the gameplay. Because at the moment, when you are ready to Phasmophobia, it's so overwhelming that you spend half of your life watching videos on how to play the game, which I don't think is worth it. But there you go. This is Phasmophobia Development Preview 11, all about ultraviolet, fingerprints, and footprints. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next daily upload, guys. Until then, take care.